Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel and welcome to Saturday Happenings for not only the last Saturday of August, it's the last day of August because it's the 31st. Tomorrow starts September, and with September comes so many new things, like school starting for a lot of kids. Some are already back to school, things like that. It's just a different time of year. Things are changing. But I actually thought last week was the last Saturday. I don't know what I was thinking. I felt like the last Saturday was last week, but it's clearly today. Anyway, for Saturday Happenings, you know I like to go over the videos that I did last week, what's coming up next week, and just stuff, just a quick chat. So I am excited. My chickens are starting to lay. I had Honey has laid 1 egg a day for the last 11 days. Well, I think she skipped a day. But then, so she's doing good. And then yesterday when I went out, there were 2 eggs in there. So somebody else is clearly starting to lay. So that only leaves 4 more chickens. And then we should be everybody in full swing of the laying. So that's exciting. I'm going to go out in a little bit and check that. Not much. It's just exciting for me when the eggs start coming because, I love the chickens. Anyway, so let's talk about the videos that I did last week. Well, up until today, this past week. On Monday, I did the 5-way beef mix. I love that stuff, and I've done some recipes that are already posted using it. And I have to say, when you make those mixes, you think, well, these are pretty basic ingredients, whatever. But they are very flavorful just on their own. I love them. So the 5-way beef mix, there's so much you can do with it. And the cool thing about that, I think I did mine, I just did hamburger, but you can do it with beef chunks too. So you could use that recipe and do it with beef chunks and ground beef. And then you could extend the recipe potential for all of them. Like with the beef chunk mix, you could just put in some broth and some more vegetables and make a beautiful stew. So simple. Anyway, so maybe I will do the 5-way beef mix with beef chunks. That would be maybe some stew meat chunks. Good idea. So I might do that coming up and use that in some recipes. But I love having these freezer mixes because they're so good and they make things so easy. Yay. Okay. And then I did on Tuesday the dinner for 2 using the 5-way beef mix, and that was phenomenal. So good. I have not ever made anything from those mixes that was not really good. And I'm a basic cook. I'm not a fancy cook. So this is what you would consider just your everyday home cooking kind of food. It's nothing super fancy. If you want to bump it up and do cooler things, do it. You can take these and you can do so many things. So there's that. And then on Thursday, my throwback Thursday was the sweet pickle relish. Now, it's kind of fun for me to go back and see some of these old recipes, old videos. Some of them, there's actually one that's going to come up. Let me see where that one is. I'm going to see if it's in September. Yes, in September. There's actually going to be one that is the very first video that I ever did for YouTube. And it is, some of these are so old, back from when I thought you could only show your hands because I don't even know. But anyway, so that's fun. And I distinctly remember the first video I ever did where I showed my face. It's kind of freaky for me. And now here we are, right. But the relish is so good. The sweet pickle relish, I love that stuff. It's phenomenal. It's really good stuff. So then there's that. And then on Friday, I did my morning minute with the girls, and everyone loves those. I will do some more just because they're fun to watch. The chickens are just, I find it calming. I can go sit with a cup of coffee on my little bench. I have a bench kind of outside the coop by my little garden, and I can just sit there and watch them putter and peck around and squawk and do all their things. And I find it relaxing. So I hope you guys are enjoying those morning minutes, and I will post some more. Now, let's talk about next week. I'm excited because cool stuff. I've got some product reviews coming up, and my product reviews are always on Sunday. So if a video comes out on Sunday, it will always say product review. Occasionally, I might be in a collaboration where they ask me to do something on a Sunday. And if that's the case, it'll say, but just look at the title. If it says product review, then But the reason I'm telling you that is because tomorrow, if you are a crafty gal or guy and you are watching videos of you into sublimation and things, keep an eye tomorrow. cool product for making stuff. I'm excited about it because I've worked, I can't give you too much information, but I've made these things before, but never with this type. We'll just say that. Just watch it. If you want to know a cool thing for sublimating, watch tomorrow's video because it's cool. And then next week, there's a video on Monday, and it's going to actually be using one of the freezer mixes. So if you're into that, make sure you keep an eye on that. Got a sourdough video coming up next week also. And then I've got an old, on Thursdays, Throwback Thursday, there's an old one. And it actually is appropriate because right now I did some of this stuff. Like I did a video on, well, it's appropriate because what the video is what you can do right now. I'll say that. So keep an eye out for Throwback Thursday because that's going to be good. And then I am in a collaboration for September. There's a couple of collaborations. One collaboration is September is National Preparedness Month. And so I was invited to do the 30 Days of Preparedness collaboration. So my first video, I've got 2 videos for that. My first one will be on Friday. And you want to watch that because just good information. All the information that you can get to help you be more prepared is great. Sometimes it's like, that's out of my league. I'm not going to do that. And sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, that is something that's really a good thing I should be doing. So keep an eye out for that collaboration and the videos from that because more information is just good. I mean, the more you know, the better off you are. So keep an eye out for that. And then on Sunday that week, I also will have a review. So a cool crafty review, a cool crafty tool review. That will be next Sunday. So that's what's happening this coming Sunday. And then there is 3 collaborations that I'm working on for September. One is the 30 Days of Preparedness. And then, some people call this month September. Some people call it Spamtember. There's a group of us that call it Spamtember. So that is coming up for September. And there's another group that calls it Souptember. So that one is coming up too. So sometime in the month, I will be doing those. And so those will be coming up. But keep an eye out starting tomorrow for those 3 collaborations because those 3 collaborations are going to give you information that you should know. Just good stuff. So those are cool. And I'm looking at my little calendar and that's all I think I have going on for this past week and coming up week. And I can't think of any questions other than, oftentimes when I'm doing a video, like a canning video, and somebody wants to change something, sometimes a little bit drastically, and they message me and say, hey, can I add flour? No. Just no, don't add flour to canned goods. Or they say, hey, can I do this or can I do that? Or can I substitute something in lieu of something else? If you find a canning recipe that you like and you think, oh, that would be good altered this way, I am never going to tell you that it's okay to alter an approved recipe. So I'm just not. My point is for people to use researched and approved recipes because it's going to way lower your risk factor. Okay. So when you wonder about those things like, can I do this? You can do anything you want to a canning recipe, but just don't can it. Freeze it. So if you have something you want to make, just like I did all those freezer mixes, that's okay. And a lot of you said, can I can some of those freezer mixes I did? Well, basically, there are canning recipes that are basically the same. They just have the ground beef or they've got the onions with it. So you want to look at the recipes for canning and see that it's all the same ingredients. These are just in the freezer. Follow the appropriate recipe for canning, and they're very similar. But sometimes people don't like the texture of canned meat, or I don't like the texture of ground beef that's been canned. It reminds me of those little soft Vienna sausages. I think that's grody. But I would freeze it all day long. So if there's a recipe that I want and I want to alter it, I would just put it in the freezer. Does that make sense? Like, don't alter a canning recipe, but do whatever you want that goes in the freezer. That's basically it. Like you can, there's some things that don't freeze well, we know that. But in general, if you make something, just because you want to preserve it, I realize that there's a limited, some people have limited space in either way, pantry or freezer, but just kind of work it out. If it's an approved method, process, and recipe for canning, don't change it. If you want to change that, you want to make it different, you want to add things to it, then freeze it. That's really, I guess, what I'm getting to, my point, because a lot of people asked me that, can I add this or can I add that, especially after the sweet pickle relish thing. But there's that. So that's the rule. That's my rule, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that are coming up. I have already, look at this, I have already filled my September. And I already have postings up there for that. For the 10 days we're going to be gone. We're going to be going on a cruise. And so, but there's still videos for you because I've already got them pre-posted because I have things. And, ooh, coming up in September also, I'm going to start, it's later, but I'm going to start the different methods of canning, like steam canning, pressure canning, boil water canning. And I think I did one on juicing. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to do like steam canning explained, pressure canning explained, boil water canning explained, and show you and talk about those. So those are coming up during the month of September too. So it's a good month, and I am excited about that month. But we are going on a cruise, but you already have videos up to watch, so you're not going to miss anything. And I will post things while we're gone, but that's not for like a couple weeks. So anyway, I'm going to go out and check my chickens. Brian has got grass seeds so that we can now plant grass. It's kind of a misty morning, so it's going to be perfect. We're going to plant grass out in the front where they put in our new septic, and the whole front yard is nothing but dirt right now. So we're going to go out and get that done, and then I'm going out to my friends, and I am picking pears, and I've got something coming up for pears. So it's going to be good. I'm excited. And I hope you're enjoying my videos, and I hope you enjoy what's coming up. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.